Samoa cookies? For sure. Hey everybody, Crystal Beaudry here. Thanks so much for joining us. We are doing a series right now that is all about Girl Scout cookies. So if you haven't checked out our chocolate keto thin mint Girl Scout cookies, then make sure to go do that. I'll make sure to link it down below. In today's episode, we are going to be doing some Samoa Girl Scout cookies, and they are so good. For real. You're gonna want to eat all of them. So thanks for joining us. Let's get started. Here is all the ingredients that we're going to be using. So now for sweetener, I always use a erythritol monk fruit sweetener when I am doing any baking. Every sweetener is you can use for different things. So I personally like this when I'm baking. I'm using 3/4 of a cup of that. I got this from Whole Foods. I'm using some Kerrygold butter, 6 tablespoons, and you want to make sure that it stays cold. 1.5 cups of some almond flour. I'm using 1 teaspoon of some xanthan gum, some vanilla, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of some baking powder, and then 1 egg. Okay, let's whip this up. All right, so I put my 1.5 cups of almond flour in here. We are going to add some of the butter, just because I like to have it in some layers. And then we're going to do 1 teaspoon of the xanthan gum. All right, I'm gonna do the 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Then I'm doing the 3/4 of a cup of sweetener. Ooh, it's gonna be full. Do the rest of the butter. All right, I'm going to also be adding the vanilla, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Or if you're like me, you can just dump it. Okay, so I'm going to be blending this a little bit, and then I'm gonna, at the end, add the egg. I love using my Ninja chopper, but I have a really small one, so maybe, I know some people have bigger ones, but I'm going to just push that down and then redo it. But I love using it because it gets such a good consistency when I'm doing stuff like this. Okay, awesome. So you can kind of see the consistency. It's kind of a little crumbly, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Now I'm going to add the egg. Yes, no shells. All right, let's blend this back up. So the last part of this, when I finish it out, I'm going to take it out of here, and then I'm just going to kind of stir it a little bit more with my hands to make sure that it's all combined. And then I'm going to put it on some parchment paper and put it in the freezer a little bit, but first I'm going to kind of shape it before I do that. So as you can see, some of the stuff on the bottom didn't quite get mixed good, so I'm just going to mix that with my hand a little bit, kind of incorporate it. And then I'm going to make this into a log so that it's a little easier to cut into the perfect cookie dough size. Okay, is that all mixed? Good. Okay, let's kind of just try to form this a wee bit. Okay, so this is how you want it to look. I'm gonna just put this in the freezer for about 45 minutes, kind of help it get more solid so that I can cut it and form it into the cookies. So I just pulled this out of the freezer. We are going to unwrap it. Ooh, that looks beautiful. Okay, we are going to, oh, you wanna eat that?
Yeah, I do want to taste it.
We are going to cut this in about, well, whatever size you want it. Now, I am going to be cutting holes in these to make them look like true Samoa cookies. I'm just using one of my frosting tips, and it made a perfect hole. All right, there you go, buddy.
Wow, that looks like a donut.
does kind of, doesn't it? But you can use anything to make it cut. So here's the ingredients that we need for the caramel sauce to go on top of the Samoas. We're going to start with 4 tablespoons of some grass-fed butter. We're going to be heating that up on the stove and let it brown. Then we're going to add in 6 tablespoons of some heavy whipping cream and about a half a cup of some Allulose. And then once it's all cooked and cooled down a little bit more, we're going to add in a cup of some unsweetened shredded coconut. So you can kind of see the butter begin to brown. I've just lightly been melting this over the stove. Now I am going to add the sweetener. We'll mix this all together. And then I'm also going to be adding the heavy whipping cream. And I'm going to just cook this for maybe about 5 minutes. And then after that, I will add in the coconut. So it's finished cooking. I added the scoop of some coconut, shredded coconut, and then I'm going to let it completely cool down before I put it on top of the cookies. Okay, so I let this mixture cool down quite a bit. So the consistency is a little different. It's not quite as liquidy. I let it cool down a lot, probably like 10 minutes. And then with my cookies, I actually made another batch because I didn't roll them out small enough. And then what I also forgot to mention was to, after you cut the cookies and kind of put the holes in them, put them back in the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes because that actually, they needed it. Otherwise, what happened was to the cookies, the other cookies that I cooked, they unfortunately spread super, super big. They were just too big. So that's why I was like, well, I'm going to redo these. Okay, so I put about a tablespoon of topping on. And then I am going to do that to all of them. And then we're going to put the chocolate on. Okay, so we've finished putting all of the caramel with the coconut mixture on it. Now I'm grabbing some heated chocolate chips or some melted chocolate chips with some coconut oil. I just put in about maybe a half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of chocolate chips, maybe a tablespoon of coconut oil, and then I heated it up in the microwave in 30-second increments. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to cover the bottom of it lightly. Kind of let it drain off. Well, maybe I'll do a little bit more than that. And then at the end, I'm going to drizzle it with the chocolate too. And then I'm going to set these in the freezer to set. Make sure that the chocolate is completely not melted. The chocolate is completely solid again. Oh, these look so good. All right, so once you do the bottom, you can just take it and maybe I'll use a spoon and then just kind of drizzle it. Right? These look so good. All right, so they've all been drizzled. Now I'm just going to, putting the little circle in the middle, you don't really have to. It's kind of just like to make it look like theirs, but you don't really have to. I mean, it's just a cookie. So you can definitely skip that step if you want to. I did it to the cookies themselves also, but as they cook, they kind of grow over it, even though I had a huge hole in it, whatever. Okay, and then these are gonna go in the freezer and they'll be done. All right, you guys, these came together beautifully. The caramel sauce on this is divine. You're going to love it. Let me know in the comment what your favorite Girl Scout cookie is and give this recipe a try and let me know what you think. Okay, taste test time. Oh my goodness, these are my favorite. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.